County Administrator's report. John.
Very quickly, I just return to the Wrightsville project for a second. A lot of nice things were said when we were going through that presentation, but the lady that's sitting behind me is the engine that makes that project go. And so I would just like to thank Melissa for all of her hard work. She actually makes sure that when I go to those meetings, I'm telling them what I'm supposed to be telling them. And so she has really done a fabulous job of that, and I just wanted to make sure that she got the recognition that she deserved. You have a written report, your comprehensive plan, a final draft of that. We've spent quite a bit of time with VDOT comments, trying to get those reviewed and resolved. So a final draft of the comprehensive plan is scheduled to be presented to the Planning Commission on February 13th. Based on comments received from the Planning Commission, we will either bring a draft report based upon their recommendation to the full board, or go back and make revisions to the draft report based on feedback we received from the Planning Commission. That meeting will be held on February 13th, and we should be ready to present sometime to you in early spring your updated comprehensive plan. Budget packets were distributed today. At your March meeting, I'll ask two members of the board to assist me in an advisory capacity as we work through our budget process. As a side note, as we've done in years past, we're planning to host a joint meeting for joint services with the City of Covington. We're tentatively scheduled for either the second or third Thursday in March currently, tentatively at 6 p.m. All that's subject to change once date and time is finalized. We'll advise. Zoning amendments. I just mentioned to the board as a reminder that those zoning, we had a public hearing on some changes to our zoning. That went back to the Planning Commission. They made some changes based on the comments and feedback. Those were updated. I believe they've been provided in electronic format to the Board of Supervisors. If you have comments or if you think they've met the intent of what we heard in the public hearing that night and we're interested in moving to have another public hearing on those zoning amendments, if you please let me know and we'll schedule accordingly. We had quite a bit of conversation about House Bill 2640. Thank you all for reaching out to our representatives. We were also able to, as I know, the City of Covington made quite an effort there as well, and our neighbors to our east and south, Rockbridge and Bottletown, reached out on our behalf as well to their delegation. That died on the House floor. It didn't move after the third reading, and as such, that effectively means that the bill is dead. It did not cross over, even though it reported out of the Senate. And just so folks know, that's changes to the machinery and tools tax, legislation from Delegate Byron from the Bedford area. What that could have done locally for us was have an impact anywhere between $500,000 and $1.6 million in revenue, and loss of revenue, which would, in order to recover that type of revenue, you would have been considering somewhere in the neighborhood of a 5 cents to 16 cent increase in your real estate tax rate. We generate approximately $100,000 per penny. So we did not take a position on the Rosedale Bradley Sewer Replacement Project. We have restructured the bid documents. We plan to reissue those late this month for the replacement of that project in the Rosedale community. The restructure of the bid documents will allow contractors to either bid it in divisions, the trunk line, and then also the residential piece, or as a whole. And we have the option now to select pricing for either the divisions or the entire project based on how favorable they are to the county. So we'll reissue those. If you go in that area, you will also see that we begin to mobilize materials down Quid City in that area, Bath County, and they are sharing their building inspector with us while Mr. Little was out recovering. And so Mr. Tyree and Mr. Siebold will cover geographic sections of Alleghany County where building inspections are needed in the interim. So that's all I have. Thank you.